The living room was a battlefield of empty energy drink cans and the flickering chaos of a zombie apocalypse on the TV screen. Alex's old couch, sagging under years of use, cradled us shoulder to shoulder as we gripped our controllers, the final round of the game spiraling into disaster. My character went down in a hail of undead claws, every perk, gun, and upgrade I'd spent hours earning wiped out in seconds. All because Alex, true to form, had decided to play the fool at the worst possible moment, sprinting off to taunt a horde instead of covering me. "Bro, you ditched me," I snapped, tossing my controller onto the coffee table with a clatter. I stood, my irritation flaring as I shot him a glare. "Ran off like a little, don't say it," Alex cut in, sprawled on the floor, his grin wide and unrepentant, his laughter barely contained. "Like a damn pussy," I finished, smirking as I brushed past him toward the kitchen. The words were sharp, playful, the kind of jab we'd thrown 100 times before. I didn't see it coming. Quick as a whip, Alex's arm shot out, hooking my ankles. I went down hard, catching myself on my elbows as the hardwood floor jolted through me. Before I could react, his weight landed on my back, pinning me. "Who's the pussy now?" he shouted, his voice bright with laughter as he straddled me, his knees bracketing my hips. I twisted under him, grinning through gritted teeth, my competitive streak roaring to life. We'd done this before, roughhousing like overgrown kids, to gym rats burning off steam. Boys being boys, but tonight, something was different. The air crackled with more than just adrenaline. Every grip, every shove carried a charge, muscles straining, skin brushing skin in ways that lingered too long. My forearm grazed his chest, his hand clamped onto my thigh as he shifted. Neither of us backed down, and neither of us wanted to. Our laughter faded, replaced by a heavy, unspoken tension. We were still grappling, still locked together, but the game was forgotten. His smirk softened, his hazel eyes catching mine in the dim glow of the TV. "You done, tough guy?" he teased, his voice low, almost daring. I tightened my grip around his torso, my voice rough. Not even close. We froze, caught in a strange, electric stillness. Our breaths came hard, chests heaving, the room shrinking to just the space between us. Alex was stronger than his lean frame suggested. I had a few inches and pounds on him, but his compact power always kept me on edge. His arms were locked around my waist now, his breath hot against the back of my neck as we rolled. I tried to break free, but the more I struggled, the more tangled we became. "Are you sure you want to keep going?" he grunted, half joking, half challenging. I twisted, aiming to flip him, and in the chaos, my hand slipped under the hem of his shirt, grazing the warm skin of his lower stomach. It should have been nothing, just a fleeting touch in the heat of a tussle. But it wasn't. The heat of his skin seared into me, and I froze. His grip didn't loosen, my hand stayed where it was. Our breath sensed, heavy and uneven, and something shifted, a spark igniting a fire I hadn't known was smoldering. Then came the moment that changed everything. Alex moved, slow and deliberate, his hips pressing against me. My brain short-circuited, caught between shock and something else, something primal. "Who's the weak one now?" he murmured into my ear, his voice dipping low, teasing, but laced with something new, something dangerous. I snapped out of it, scrambling to flip us over. I pinned him on his side, my chest pressed to his back, my body molding to his. His breathing was as ragged as mine, his hand slipping under the waistband of my shorts, grazing me in a way that sent a jolt through my core. "Hey, relax," he said, his fingers bold, teasing. "What's this?" I was hard, embarrassingly so, and the realization hit me like a freight train. But there was no shame, only a burning mix of confusion and arousal. "Not so weak, huh?" I managed, my voice shaky. He pulled his hand back and glanced over his shoulder, his eyes glinting with something unreadable. "You gonna fight me, or?" Words failed me. My hands didn't. I grabbed him, rolling us again, my body fully behind his now, pinning his smaller frame beneath mine. He fit against me, the realization hitting with a pang of panic, like we'd done this in another life, like this was always meant to happen. I pressed against him, slow and deliberate. "Look who's in control now," I muttered, my lips brushing his ear. He chuckled, low and throaty, shifting back into me, Maybe I like when you take control." The teasing was still there, but softer, almost reverent. He stopped struggling, his body yielding in a way that made my chest tighten. I looked down and saw the outline of him straining against his shorts, a damp spot forming at the tip. My pulse thundered. I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't stop, neither did he. I whispered something crude, probably, to match the heat between us. He moaned, soft but unmistakable, the sound echoing in my head louder than anything all night. We weren't wrestling anymore. We were falling through a door we'd cracked open, and neither of us wanted to close it. His hand slipped under my waistband again, more confident this time, fingers brushing along my length. I inhaled sharply. "Damn," he muttered, his voice low and savoring. I was expecting soft, but this, he gave a light squeeze, and I jolted, instinct overriding thought. I shoved him off, not out of rejection, but because the intensity was too much. He landed on the floor, laughing. "What's wrong?" "Scared." That teasing, mocking tone lit a fire in me, not anger, but something fiercer, something that made my hands shake with want. I lunged at him, pinning him down hard, my chest to his back, my arms wrapping tight. "You think this is a game?" I whispered, my voice trembling with something deeper than rage. He shifted beneath me, his breathing shallow. "You're so worked up," he murmured. "You like it." I didn't answer. I was too busy grinding against him, slow and deliberate, each movement a question I didn't know how to ask. His body responded, muscles tensing, his desire undeniable. "You gonna make me your bitch now?" he said, breathless, teasing, but with an edge of truth. "Is that what this is?" I didn't know how to answer. Then came the words that stopped time. "Do it," he whispered, his voice raw. "I want it." I froze, every muscle locked. "What?" "Do it," he repeated, quieter, his body trembling not with fear, but anticipation. "I want you to make me yours." His eyes met mine over his shoulder, steady and unguarded, with no trace of shame. My heart pounded, a war raging between fear and desire. Part of me wanted to pull away, to pretend this wasn't happening. But a stronger part, the part that felt alive in his presence, wanted to give in. He moved his hand behind him, touching me again, slow and intentional. "You already beat me," he whispered. "Now take me. Claim me." That word claim settled in my chest like a vow. He gently pulled away, got on all fours, and slid his shorts down, exposing himself completely. "Please," he said, his voice a trembling whisper. "I want you. I need you." I was floating, detached, yet every inch of me was there, kneeling behind my best friend, watching him offer himself without fear or judgment. He reached for his knit stand, pulling out a bottle of lube and handing it to me. A secret passed between us, a line we couldn't uncross. "Just to get ready," he said, slipping into the bathroom for a moment. I sat on the bed, staring at my trembling hands, the lube bottle heavy in my grip. My mind screamed, what was I doing? But my body knew. When he returned, his shorts gone, he lay flat on the bed, arms folded under his head, calm and open. I joined him, my hand shaking as I opened the lube. His body was warm beneath mine, chest to back, heartbeat to heartbeat. There were no words, just the quiet surrender of two men stepping into something deeper, something real. The bedroom was a sanctuary, bathed in the soft amber glow of a corner lamp. Time slowed, the world shrinking to just us. Alex turned, his eyes locking onto mine, and reached for his shirt, peeling it off in one fluid motion. His lean, defined body glowed in the light. No bravado, no cocky smirks, just him, bare and vulnerable. He lay back, arms stretched above his head, legs slightly parted. The way he looked at me wasn't crude lust, but something deeper, a trust that made my throat tighten. I stood frozen, my thoughts a chaotic storm. I'd never crossed this line, not even in my wildest dreams. Yet here I was, peeling off my shirt, my skin burning under his gaze. "You're overthinking it," he whispered, his fingertips brushing my side. "Just feel." So I did. I crawled over him, the mattress creaking under our weight. Our faces were inches apart, breaths mingling, heavy and uneven. I kissed him, tentative at first, testing. He kissed back with a hunger that twisted my stomach and tightened my chest. Our lips moved in rhythm, tongues exploring, my hand sliding down his side, over the sharp lines of his waist to his thigh. He gasped, his body arching toward mine, his desire pressing against me. I pulled back, searching his face for hesitation. There was none, just trust, pure and terrifying. "Are you sure?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "I've never been more," he said, pulling me down again. Clothes vanished, tossed aside, forgotten. Our bodies tangled, skin on skin, hot and damp. I kissed down his neck and his chest, memorizing every inch like a map I'd always needed. His fingers wove into my hair, his sighs guiding me through the haze. It wasn't rushed or mechanical, it was slow, almost sacred. When I slid inside him, his breath caught, his eyes wide before shutting tight. I paused, giving him time, though every nerve in me screamed for more. His legs wrapped around me, pulling me closer. "I want to feel all of you," he said, his voice trembling. I moved, gentle but rhythmic, each thrust a silent confession. My hands gripped his waist, my forehead pressed to his, our hearts pounding in sync. He whispered my name like a prayer, his voice cracking. I was unraveling, the heat building behind my eyes. I tried to hold back, to make this moment last forever, but he leaned up, kissing me hard. "Let go," he whispered. So I did. Release crashed over me like a wave, stealing my breath and grounding me all at once. I collapsed into him, still trembling, still inside, his arms pulling me tighter. We didn't speak, our bodies slick with sweat, tangled in sheets, hearts slowing to a steady rhythm. His fingers traced circles on my back, anchoring me in the silence. It wasn't awkward or shameful, it just was. I shifted, and he adjusted with me, our legs fitting together. Naturally, that wasn't just about sex for me, he whispered, his lips brushing my jaw. I nodded, my throat tight. I don't know what it was for me, but it was real. He smiled faintly, pressing a soft kiss to my jaw. "That's enough for now." Morning light slipped through the half-closed blinds, casting golden stripes across the tangled sheets. I stirred first. Alex curled against me, his breath warm on my collarbone, his arm slung lazily over my waist. I didn't move, letting the weight of him sink in, my hand drifting to his shoulder, fingertips brushing his skin. He murmured something, shifting closer, his leg tangling with mine. When his eyes opened, hazy but clear, they found mine immediately. No awkwardness, no rush to pull away, just a small, genuine smile. "Morning," he said, voice raspy. "Hey," I replied, unsure how to navigate this new space. He leaned in, hesitant, and our lips brushed gentle, testing. It wasn't the heat of the night before, but something softer, shy. The kiss deepened, growing certain, our bodies moving together again, not out of impulse, but something grounded, deliberate. Less urgency, more feeling, as if we were rewriting what intimacy meant. When it was over, he rested his head on my chest, fingers tracing idle circles on my side. I stared at the ceiling, not in confusion, but in quiet clarity. He didn't speak, and neither did I. We didn't need to. Whatever this was, it was real. Later, I sat on the edge of the bed, the sunlight higher now, cutting through the room. Alex dozed behind me, a faint smile on his lips, one arm stretched where I'd been. The hardwood floor bore faint scratches, and our clothes were a chaotic pile from the night before. The world felt different not because the room had changed, but because I had. I glanced at him, peaceful, like nothing had ever been wrong. Last night had started like any other games, jokes, playful fights, but something raw had broken through, something we hadn't planned, but hadn't stopped. I hadn't expected to want this, hadn't expected to find comfort in it. "You? Good?" I asked, my voice low as he stirred. He tilted his head, resting his chin on my chest. "Better than good," he said, his smile tired but warm. "I feel like I've been holding my breath for years." I paused. "What do you mean?" He propped himself up, his expression softening. "I've had feelings for you for a while. Wrestling, roughhousing it was my excuse to touch you without making it weird. I thought, if it looked like bro stuff, you'd never suspect it was more." I blinked, my stomach tightening. "You're serious, dead serious," he said, scratching the back of his neck, sheepish. Every time we got that close, it was hell holding back. I ran a hand over my face, processing. "Jesus, Alex." He grinned, that cocky spark returning. You were kind of rough with me last night." "Think I've officially been claimed," I snorted. "Don't say that." "What? Claimed or owned bread?" he teased, waggling his eyebrows. "Dude, too soon." We laughed, but it was nervous, a thin veil over something tender. His smile faded slightly. "I'm joking 'cause I'm scared, man. I don't know where this goes, but I don't regret a second of it. Not even a little." I looked at him, really looked. His messy hair, swollen lips, and eyes searching for something solid. "I don't know what it means for me either," I admitted. "But I don't regret it." We sat in silence, letting the words settle. "I don't want to lose what we had," he said finally. "But I'd be lying if I said I only wanted to be your friend." I didn't respond right away, feeling too much confusion, curiosity, fear, and something warm, like coming home. He shifted closer, our knees touching. "Whatever this is," he said, "whatever it becomes, I'm here. No pressure, no expectations, just me." I looked at our hands, inches apart on the bed. Without overthinking, I covered his with mine. "I don't have a label for it," I said quietly. "But I don't want to pretend it didn't happen, or that it didn't mean something." His fingers curled around mine, and that was it. No grand declarations, just a quiet understanding. The bond we'd had, playful, physical, had deepened, become something real. We'd crossed a line, and neither of us wanted to go back. As the morning unfolded, we moved through the space with a new ease, his hand brushing mine as we made coffee, our laughter lighter but carrying a new weight. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring, whether we'd fall back into old patterns or carve out something new. But as he leaned against me, sipping from a chipped mug, I knew one thing: I wasn't alone in this. What we'd found was real, and for now, that was enough.